The Creamcicle has been one of Brent's top performers for steelhead and salmon.
Today we'll tie you up a creamsicle. This is one of my favorite patterns here. This has got so much movement, great coloration, works great for lots of different salmon and steelhead. We'll be starting here with a Gamakatsu size 1 jig hook. Some fire orange 6/0 thread. There's a large bead on the front of this jig hook here. Also 35 thou lead on there to turn this fly over. And if you have slotted beads for this fly, that's great. I didn't have any of the size, so you can make some modifications. When you tie your own flies, you can use what you have. So if you want to do it the way I have here or get a slotted bead, it's up to you. I have some small dubbing brush wire tied on the rear here, and we're going to be taking some UV2 Silex sand shrimp coloration here, and I'm going to make a bit of a cluster at the back here, kind of imitate a bit of a egg looking deal at the back of the fly. It shows through really nice when the fly is wet, and I just sweep these fibers back. But it gives me a bit of a foundation here for my next step, which will be the marabou blood quill, and we'll be tying that in by the butt. And I tie it in so the butt's fairly stiff there, so it just turns and I get the marabou standing out a lot better. I get a lot more pulsation from my flies. That's the way I like to do my marabou. I'll show you, I've got a couple more blood quills coming on. You'll see it here even a little better on the ones going forward. This blood quill at the rear, I just basically use it as a veil on that egg-looking butt on the fly. Now we're going to be taking some of these silly legs. These are fire orange and clear. These fire tip legs are really, really nice, and we're going to give it some more movement here. And just sweep 3 back on each side. We like using these rubber legs on a lot of salmon flies. We found they've worked very, very well over the years. Just keep using what works. That's what it's all about. Now we'll take some UV polar chenille here. Nice big chenille, it's bright. Got a little UV in it as well. I want this fly to be bright on the bottom. It's going to be bright all over actually. We got a lot of bright materials going on this, nice light coloration. So I'll just kind of sweep them UV fibers back as we go along here, hand over hand. And we'll come right near to the head of the fly. And I'll just tie that off. Cut it off here. This is a simple fly to tie, and these style flies are produced so well over the years. We were selling jig flies, and we've had some very good reports on these just style of pattern. So here I'm taking this fluorescent fire orange marabou blood quill again. Now that has a little stiffer stem on the bottom of it there. You'll see I just so it barely wraps around the shank, so it turns. And I'm going to get 2 turns of that, and I can take a 3rd turn if I want to fish heavier water, and that's where I'm heading, to a big river right now. If I was fishing a little slower water, I'd just use 2, but I just bulk it up a little bit for the bigger water. So that looks pretty good, and we see the pulsation going to happen, and I'm cutting that stem pretty coarse. You see at the bottom there? It's really thick. I'll do that, the white to envelope, just tone that orange down there, fluorescent orange. And you can do this fly in peach color too. It's really nice. Got lots of different color variations. You can just use your imagination. I tie this in many, many different colors. Just sweep these blood quills back. I'm pulling it pretty hard here, but you see it wants to pulsate. The trouble with when you lash marabou down any other way, sometimes it just kind of swims back there behind you like a stick. I want it to pulsate, and anytime it's not under pressure, it's wanting to. So it creates a lot of great movement. Taking this Flashabou here, this is a polar flash, actually, and it is the UV pearl. And we get those butts. I just folded it over. You want to try to envelope the hook with the flash. Polar flash. This is really, really good material. I use this a lot. It just got a scaly looking appearance to it. And I use that on saltwater and steelhead flies and trout flies, wherever. This is one of my favorite colors, and it's just pearl, but you can get it in many different other colors too. As you know, there's no end to fly tying materials. Get a good whip finish on that. Put some head cement on there. And just go to fishing. This is a great producer. You can leave those, that puller flash, I leave it a little bit long in the back so it comes out behind the body. And it works just great.
Here's the recipe for this great steelhead fly pattern. Thanks for joining us on the Fly Guy channel with Brent Schlenker. Check out Sport Fishing on the Fly for more great videos.